This episode of Call It with Kaitlin and Brittany. I'm Brittany and this is
Kaitlin.
And we're so happy to be here.
I'm just glad you didn't trip on the way over.
I know.
Because that would have been something.
And that could have happened.
Okay.
Because you did the setup.
Somebody was late.
It's okay. That was me. So welcome, and we would like to start off this segment by doing a little bit of Space Coast Runners housekeeping. How about that, Kaitlin?
That sounds right up our alley.
Okay, well, let's start off with this weekend. We have the Space Coast Classic 15K and 2 mile coming up. And what's really cool about the races this weekend is that it is your only chance to race a 15K distance in Brevard County this year.
And the weather is looking amazing. When I did Coffee with Coach with camp, I told him the lows were looking like 58 to 60 in Cocoa. It is down to 55.
Ooh,
so
really
Sunday
good.
morning is going to be pretty perfect. Little bit of a breeze out of the north. I did check. So they'll have a little headwind on the way out, but you get a tailwind coming back.
Tailwind on
so
the
it's
way
like
back.
perfect. It's not much. Like the last time I saw it was like 9 to 10 miles an hour. So it's not like 20. Like it's enough that you might feel it, but you'll get a nice push once you take the turnaround.
Yeah, so that should definitely make people want to be more conservative on the first half of the race.
I agree.
Because it is an out and back,
Yes,
of course.
yes.
Okay.
And duck behind people if you feel a little breeze, but yeah.
Yeah, those tall people, sometimes people do draft.
Yes, I do. Me too.
Well,
Who do you draft on?
No, I don't, but
Oh.
people draft off me.
I was going to say, you'd be perfect to sneak behind.
Yeah, I'll give you one of those pet peeves later on today about that.
Oh, that could be in your sassy segment. Okay, I can't wait.
Okay, so races are held at the Cocoa Library, and the 15K starts at 6:30 a.m., followed by the 2 mile at 6:45.
Yep.
And both of these are races in the Runner of the Year series. So members will score points for the 15K, and then our members that are 14 years and under or 75 years and older can choose to run the 2 mile.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So we're really looking forward to that. We have a lot of raffles. Space Coast Runners will be there, so that means it's random runner.
Perfect. So we're anything that has Space Coast Runners logo, words on it. So it can be the camp shirts that we kind of just have. Here's the thing, I only have like 2 shirts I can wear now. So it's, if you wear a camp shirt, then there's 50-50 chance we match.
True.
Yeah.
But I think we look cute.
So we're awesome. We blend in with the table.
Yes.
So it can be a camp shirt, it can be a Space Coast Runner shirt, it can be a hat, anything that has Space Coast Runners on it.
I don't want to blend in with this table.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they couldn't wear a hat.
No, you're like, can we blend in with this table? And I'm like,
it's actually perfect because we're both in like black and you're in black and white. So we actually really do blend in with the mildew of the table. Yeah. That actually, I smelled it before I put it on just to make sure. It smells good.
It does. It's fine.
It's just
looks really
aesthetically
bad.
not pleasing as it migrates to the front, as some of you may notice.
So random runner, win yourself a
sidetrack there.
A $150 gift card to our presenting sponsor of it, Running Zone.
Perfect.
So get you some free shoes.
Yep. And speaking of shoes, Space Coast Runners will be collecting gently worn shoes at the Classic this weekend over at the Space Coast Runners tent. So make sure you tie them together.
These aren't a good example, but you can tie those laces together and bring us your gently worn sneakers. I've had people ask if they can bring in their kids' sneakers. Yes.
Yep. Perfect. And how much have we donated so far?
We have donated over 1,000 pounds of sneakers. So instead of that all going into a landfill, it is being recycled.
Perfect. So bring over your shoes. If you can't make it to the Classic, we're always collecting them here at New Wave. And those of you in camp can always bring it out to camp. And I will make sure that Brittany gets your stinky shoes.
Stinky shoes.
Yep.
Okay. So as we said, Classic is part of the Runner of the Year series. I'd like to thank our sponsors. We have our presenting sponsor for this year's series, Gradium Wealth Management with Ed Donner. Our silver level is Dr. Christine Klein from Embrace, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we have Touch and Body Motion Massage Therapy. So thank you very much to our sponsors.
Yep, thanks for making it happen.
And so we are doing our scoring now. This race is when the drops actually happen. We've been teasing about it.
Yes, it starts to get interesting.
Yeah.
So on our men's side, we had a little bit of shuffling around. We have Steve Hedgepath is still in the lead.
First.
Nate Dwenger is in second. And then we have John Max Hoffmeister is in third.
First time on the leaderboard.
We haven't mentioned him yet. So first time on the leaderboard, like you said. And then Masters, we have Kevin Jacomite. Grand Masters, we have Rick Grew. and Senior Grandmasters Dan Curitan.
Okay, so just a little bit of shaking up there, but yeah, there are people lurking.
Yep, it'll be very interesting. We got this and then Eat My Crust, and it's gonna keep getting interesting.
Yes, well, on the women's side, we have in first, none other than Kaitlin Donner. In second, we have Mary Hoffmeister, and in third, we have Kirsten, is it Kirsten or Kristen?
Kirsten Lockwood.
Kirsten Lockwood, okay, thank you. And then for our masters, Margaret Cooper continues to hold on to that master spot. Grandmasters is Dawn Greger, and our senior grandmasters is Carol Ball.
Perfect.
Yes, so I mean, we talked about some people out there lurking last time. I see Lori Kruger's now lurking around the masters category, and it's going to be really exciting. So stay tuned, run your best, and then we will score you on it.
Yep. And I told you this story after the running zone race this past weekend that I was really upset now that we didn't get to say Patrick Packard's name.
Oh yeah.
Because we did the race and I encouraged him during the race, and I see him in all the races, and I've never put his name with his face together.
Mm-hmm.
You said he shaved his head, so that
well, he has a new look going on.
That I can maybe blame that, but I can't blame that. But so we got done the race and I asked him his name, and he said Patrick, and I said Packard. So now I have a face to put with the name. Yeah. And I will now call him by his name when I see him.
Yeah, because we did get into a little bit of the hedge, Calca, and Pack.
yes. And I knew it in my head, but then I didn't have the face to the name. But as soon as he said it, I knew exactly who he was.
Yeah, I mean, for women's masters categories, we could say Coop, Greg, and Ball.
Oh, we should do that next time.
We should.
And who knows, it might shuffle around.
I don't know. We don't know if we'll get the chance.
Who knows?
So go out there, run your best.
Yep.
Course record, $100 if you break the women's or the men's course record.
Very good. Yeah, it's like I said, it's looking like a really nice day out there.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I'll be at the tent. Come say hello, buy some stuff.
I'll be cheering.
Okay.
You can still come say hello.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, bouncing off our sponsors. So Dr. Christine Klein with Embrace Health, she is going to be doing a women's pelvic floor seminar for Space Coast runners and folks that want to come out and learn about that.
Much needed.
Yes, it is going to be on April 27th. The time is being tossed around, but I think it'll be about 11 a.m. And it's the first time we've ever, offered anything of the sort. And I think it's important for women of all ages, but especially those that, are maybe 50 plus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe 40 plus.
I went to pelvic PT after Chris.
That's true. So childbearing age and all.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot that happens. I don't know if we really want to get into it. I don't think anybody really wants to hear about it, but I'm an open book if we do.
Okay. So for Space Coast runners, we completed our U series. We had an awesome race number 6 at the O'Galley High School. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of volunteers, so thank you everybody that came out for that.
That was fun.
Yeah, we were thinking that we weren't going to have enough, and then we had plenty.
So thank you guys.
Yeah, we had to show up for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we are also accepting Space Coast Runners Board of Directors nominations through April 15th, I believe. So if you would like to serve on the board, please submit your nomination to Club President Terry, and you can reach her at terry@spacecoastrunners.org.
Very good. Put all those applications in.
We've got that. And then we also have nominations open for our Hall of Fame for Space Coast Runners, and then also for our Golden Shoe. So if you have those, send those into info@spacecoastrunners.org.
Those will be announced at Celebration Night.
Correct.
And when is that?
Celebration Night is on Sunday, June 1st at the Wickham Park Regional.
I was going to say June 5th, so we were going to be way off.
Way off first.
Way off. That's why we asked you these questions. Mm-hmm. Are tickets available?
Tickets are available online.
Perfect.
So, and I even created a little Facebook event. So if you go on the Facebook Runners,
so fancy.
No, the Facebook Runners.
The Facebook
Runners. That's not right.
We have a name change.
Space Coast Runners on Facebook. You can see the event there. It's listed for June 1st, and it's got the link for the tickets.
Perfect. And that includes dinner.
Dinner and good
really
times.
Yep, it's always really fun out there.
It's going to be good. Oh, and good luck. Tonight is the corporate 5K.
Oh yeah, that is tonight.
Yep, Space Coast Runners has a team competing, being led by team captain David Heath.
Very
good. They will be going out there, and hopefully we'll come back with an award.
They should.
I hope.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's good. It's much nicer weather than it has been, so that's great for being out there. There's have not run that course, but what I've heard is there's no shade. So
None.
we are thankful for a little bit of a cooler weather now, and
Yes.
we maybe get some rain this afternoon. I don't think it'll be as late as when it starts.
Yeah.
It's like it's school pickup time. That's why I know because of biking to
okay.
school.
Yep.
It's more school pickup time. We might get some rain.
All right, well,
So
good luck to everyone running, but
Yep.
especially to those Space Coast runners.
yep. We also have some camps coming up. We're wrapping
Yes.
up some camps. We're starting some camps. So our our spring training camp that we're currently in right now is targeting Space Coast Classic 15K.
Yes, they are.
And then we'll have 3 weeks of speed to target Eat My Crust 5K. We'll have 2 weeks off, and then we'll start our summer sweat and speed May 20th, and that's only 7 weeks long.
Okay.
We'll be targeting the Firecracker 5K happening on July 4th. Yep. So we'll do shorter stuff because it's going to be hot, we're going to be sweaty, it's going to be humid out there, and we do have kids camp again for this summer. So
Nice.
with kids out of school, they can come out. It's not a runner specific kids camp. They
It's
come
more
out and
activities.
it's more like a PE at school.
Mhm.
That we have footballs and soccer balls and cornhole and cones
Frisbee.
and frisbees and chalk. And so
Stuff.
they get to come out and play for about the hour that mom and or dad are out there running. And I know my kids have a lot of fun. Chris was not happy with me when I canceled it this week,
I know.
especially because then it didn't end up raining. But it was a 70% chance of rain at 2 o'clock, and I didn't have anywhere to put the kids or any covering. So yeah, he was not happy with me. He wanted to go play.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So, yep. So those are starting.
Yep.
You said Tuesday, May 20th.
Yep.
For 7 weeks.
Yep.
Okay. So that's our regular camp, co-ed.
Yep.
And then we also have our upcoming Run Like a Girl camp.
Correct.
And that is starting soon. That is kicking off on Tuesday, April 30th.
Correct.
That's a 10-week camp, and it's women exclusive.
Yes, and same structure as what we've done the last 2 Run Like a Girl camps. It'll be on Wednesday evenings in the Viera area, and then Sundays we're starting at 6:30. So this previous camp we started at 7, with it being warmer in the summer, and then obligations with different runners wanting to get to church or Sunday activities with the family. We have pushed it to a little up to 6:30 a.m. and that'll rotate around the county between Cocoa Village, Oars and Paddles, and Costco. And that'll be led by Coach Teresa Miller.
Yep, we're really excited about that. So if you're a runner, if you're a run walker, or if you're a walker, I encourage you to get signed up. You can find information under training on spacecoastrunners.org.
Yep, we'll get going.
And you did talk about the spring training camp targeting Eat My Crust. Well, look at this.
Ooh.
It's a medal reveal. Yes.
It's so cute.
Yep, here's Joey Pepperoni.
He's getting eaten by the pizza.
I know, it's kind of like a Pac-Man pizza Joey Pepperoni sensational medal, if I do
Wow.
say so myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
How often did you have to practice that, or you just come up with
It
it?
just flew out of my mouth.
Wow, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, so we're really excited about our medal. It is being presented by Jeremy Stewart of Compass Realty,
Very
but
good.
you can check this medal out at the Space Coast Runners tent at the Classic
Very good. And then get signed up.
for Sunday,
Come
May
on out.
4th. May
May
the
4th.
4th be with you.
It's not Cinco de Mayo this year.
No.
We don't get to wear hats.
Nope, you can bring your sombrero. if you
I have
like.
it in the closet still.
You should bring it. It doesn't fit me.
Very good. Do we have anything else for housekeeping? Space Coast Runners.
Oh, the only other thing that I have is for celebration night,
Oh.
we do a raffle that benefits, what?
I live with a bunch of little boys and you just said doo-doo.
Oh. Okay, Chandler.
you know who I live with.
That's true. That is true. Okay, well, I won't say it again, but we are looking for raffle items for our raffle.
Yes.
Because it benefits the youth series.
Very good.
Yes, okay.
Very good.
That's all I got.
We can got it. Okay, so I really wanted to play a game today that you turned down because you need practice or to mentally prepare.
I don't need practice. I just need to mentally prepare for it. It's not pretty.
I think it was like, don't speak out. I can't remember the name of the game now, but essentially you put the mouth guards in and they keep your mouth like this, and you have to try to talk. And you have different saying to say, but we're not playing that today.
We're not
It is
playing
a
that
teaser for in
today.
the future.
Yes.
But it'll be really
Coming
excited.
soon.
Yeah. But before we play our buzzer game, I can't wait.
Yes.
I've been telling you for like, I mean, I would say a week, but you just know that I get very sassy when I'm pregnant, like more so than normal.
It's true.
Yeah, which is better than the first pregnancy where I was just angry.
Angry.
So at least sassy's a little
more even
improvement.
keeled, yes.
Yeah, I'm usually sassy. This just gets to a new level.
Right.
So I thought we could have a sassy segment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to start us off with your
No, actually,
height of, or do you want me to get into it? I have talking points. I've been keeping track of my sassy points this week.
well, my pet peeve when we talked about the draft.
Yes,
race.
yes.
So for those of us out there that don't know what drafting is when you are racing, it is in windy conditions, possibly some rain, sleet, or snow, I don't know. But if you just position yourself very nicely behind the runner in front of you, it breaks the wind for you, thereby you are conserving energy.
Correct.
You are taking
It's a very smart way to race.
yeah, so as long as you don't step on heels and all that stuff and whatnot. So I get it. I like to draft, but I'm tall and it doesn't happen very often. But I was doing that space shuttle landing strip that they have out at Kennedy Space Center.
Yep.
So it was a 10K, so it's 3 miles out, it's 5K out, and on the way back, and it was a big headwind. Really, really big. And I knew somebody was drafting off of me basically the entire time, and then you run around a cone and you run back. And we ran around the cone, and then the guy
this makes it worse.
passed me, and therefore he ran in front of me. I had no draft, just being opportunity, because now it was the tailwind.
Right.
And I just felt really taken advantage of.
Oh, he totally did.
Because he wasn't being chivalrous, is that the word? Yes.
Yeah.
I did all the work for him.
Yeah.
And
Did he beat
otherwise,
you?
he beat me. I had used all my energies up.
Yeah, that's fair. We actually, Ed has taught Chris how to do that on the bike.
Okay.
So when it's windy, like it has been recently, and we're biking home from school against the wind, he sits behind me. And I mean, I'm on a mountain bike with Mikey's seat on the back. I mean, I'm a windshield.
Yes.
He sits behind me, and usually it's only for like 5-10 seconds because he has so much fun passing me. He sprints around me and goes, "Thanks for the energy."
Oh, well,
So that's
learning at the young age.
yeah. Ed has taught him already at almost 6.
If you're running in a pace group ever at a race, like get behind those pacers.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend when you have a headwind on the way out, if there's someone running about your same speed, sneak on in there. Like you said, don't be sportsman-like about it. Have some sportsmanship. Don't touch heels. Don't.
Yeah, and
Don't
if
be
the person
rude,
in front
don't
of you is
shove,
doing
don't-
this,
Tell your turn.
Yeah, like you can switch.
Yeah, you can trade off. You half a mile, mile, however you kind of sort it out.
So.
This actually reminds me, talking about Space Coast Classic, that last year Josh Binion was in the race,
Okay.
and I had planned to take a gel about halfway, and I forgot to put it in my pocket before the start. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't grab it out of the car. I didn't realize it till the race started, and so I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's gonna be okay. Like, it's not that long of a race.
Right.
You can get through it. But I talked with Danielle of taking this gel. Like, that was the plan. I had preloaded with, my sodium ahead of time, and we're running, and I see something in Josh's pocket. And the whole way out, I just wanted to be like, do you have a gel in your pocket that you could share with me?
You were fixated on the gel.
I really was. I didn't ask him. I figured that would be rude.
Did he take the gel in front of you?
It ended up being his phone.
Oh.
So it wasn't even a gel.
Well, it gave you something to think about, and sometimes that's all you need.
It did, yeah. Yeah, but I was like, oh, how rude would it be for me to ask Josh for his gel right now? Like, do you need that? Are you going to take it? If you take it, can you leave me like a little at the end? I'll take the last bit.
So disgusting. Yeah, no. Yeah, I would have been like, oh well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was okay without it.
Yeah, so if you have an extra gel in your pocket and you're participating in the race, perhaps look around and be like, would somebody like a gel? You never
Would
know.
anybody like this? I might be just trying to problem solve on the course of where I can find a gel.
Yeah, you never know who's jonesing for a gel. Okay, what else you got?
Okay, now this is my really sassy point of this week. Okay, I hope I don't get in trouble.
We never know.
I might. Okay, so this is not directed, I want to be very clear, to Running Zone or John or Pete in any way.
Okay.
But the pirate, I always want to call it tailgate, but it was pirate plunder. It was in the morning, which is throwing me off. That was this last weekend.
Yes, it was on Saturday.
Yes. The course was a little short. I don't care. I actually didn't want to run anymore, so I was perfectly fine with the finish line coming up sooner than I expected. Done. Everybody runs the same course, whether it's a little short, it's a little long, whatever. It's not a certified course. We're not setting records. it doesn't matter. It was a fun course with all the turns, very different than any of their other courses. But if you are going to complain when courses are, 2.03, 2.04, when they're a little long,
when people perceive them as being a little long,
and they're going to calculate what their time would have been for a 2-mile race, when they are a little short, you should maybe do the same. That it is not a 2-mile PR is what I am trying to say.
Okay.
So
Yes.
I think there has been some conversations this week of people claiming they've had 2-mile PRs over the weekends, and maybe they did, but I would say it was off enough that it was not a 2-mile PR in warm, humid conditions with lots of turns. And if it was for you and you figured out the distance and how much time it would have taken you and it was still a PR, that's fine. But it was off enough.
Right.
That just don't call it, just call it what it is, be honest with yourself, because honestly, I don't want to chase that PR if I got a PR, because it's not real. Correct. And again, it's not, I don't care that it was short. It's not directed at John and Pete. They did an amazing job with the race. So it is not directed at Running Zone at all. I mean, it's just races in general.
Yeah, you see it
That's
across
just
the
an
board,
example.
not just around here, but with anything. Like, you often see people that have run, say 2.10, and then they adjust it to what their time would be.
Right.
If it had been 2 miles according to their watch. You very rarely see the opposite being true. That people are then, what you're saying, adjusting it to add that extra 0.10, 0.08 into it.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Right. So it doesn't go both ways.
No, and this is not just like this weekend. Like I said, not to be
I
did horse. It has nothing to do with Running Zone or anything else. Like this, you see it at all kinds of races. Like if it's not certified, it doesn't have to be exactly that. And even if it's certified,
but if it is certified, it is the distance, and then it needs to be set up correctly.
Correct.
And you cannot rely on this to be your guiding beacon.
Exactly.
You have to rely on that start finish line because the Garmin watches or the what's the other one?
Coros
or Timex or whatever you got.
They could be off. They're not as accurate as wheeling out a course to the tangents.
Up to 10% off.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Right. So your 2.03 race is just 2 miles.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the one year I was bound and determined to what I was going to conquer the dragon.
Yeah.
I used to race Eye of the Dragon horribly.
Yep.
And so they had done a recertification and it changed the course a little bit. But I had gone out there, I was doing it.
Yeah.
And it was long that year.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was okay. I mean, I was in good enough shape and didn't blow up like I did every other time, that I still did PR that distance for that race.
Right.
But, it wasn't like I went home and said, oh yeah, and because that course was long, I'm going to now, deduct my time by this.
It just is the course. And everybody runs the same course on that day, so it doesn't matter.
I always find this funny, but there are also people, and if you do it, you do it. It's not a big deal. I'm not throwing
trying not to get us
stones.
in trouble today.
I know, but if you're in a race and you go to the restroom, you decide to use a porta potty on the course,
you can't stop your watch.
You can't stop your watch.
It doesn't count.
Your peeing counts.
Yes.
It's part of your time.
What if you start the race late?
Well, it just depends. Like if you start the race late, if they're still registering your start, then you start your race when you cross the starting mat.
Okay, here's a race director question. How long do you leave the starting mat open? Is it like a minute? Is it like 5 minutes? I mean, it's gonna depend on the race. Like the really big races, I know, like the big marathons, it takes 20 minutes to get over the mat. But like for Dragon,
we publish a time, well, that one's a little bit different. So like a lot of courses will say, nobody really publishes. Like
I'm gonna say I haven't heard start line.
I think it's about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's very fair.
So yeah, because then when they have to pull the mats or go elsewhere, if the finish is someplace else.
Yeah.
But I know with Dragon, with the Tail of the Lizard 2 mile, with people doing both races, we tell them they have to start the 2 mile by 8:35, with the race starting at 8 or 8:30.
Okay.
So there's a 5 minute window.
There's a 5 minute window.
Yeah. So I think that's fair, but
it's part of the challenge.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully I didn't get in too much trouble for that one.
It's all in good spirit.
It's all in good spirits. Just be honest with yourself. Is all I'm saying.
It's hard.
You don't want to chase that
When you
PR
look
that's
in
fast.
the mirror, and you say to yourself, "Did I really do that?" You
No,
know.
I didn't.
You know.
Really uplifting segment.
People are gonna be like, "What? I don't even
What
know
is
what they're
wrong with
talking
that?
about."
Don't let her get pregnant again.
Yeah, please.
My other one is completely different topic. It has more to do with strength and going to the gym. Because sometimes I work out in here in the office in between people, or if I have the boys and whatnot, and sometimes I go to the gym. And it has really bothered me the last couple weeks when people go to the gym not to work out.
They go to faux workout.
Yeah, they sit on machines or they sit on their phone and they really don't do anything. And that's fine if you don't want to work out, but you are coming and using up space
True.
that other people may want to use and other equipment that people may want to use to just sit on your phone the whole time. And if you're like in between sets, like I know if you're lifting super heavy and you need to take minutes in between because that's what the protocol says, okay. But even with that, like Planet Fitness in Satellite Beach is not huge.
Sure.
You could get off the machine and easily come right back to it instead of sitting on it for 5 minutes in between. But as it gets busier in the afternoon, you get a lot of people that either sitting on machines just talking, or talking on the phone is a big pet peeve of mine, like talking on the phone in the gym.
Because you're not supposed to.
Yeah,
I
most
think we
gyms say you have to like go
talked
to the
about that.
lobby. But just
Do
be courteous and aware of your surroundings.
Do you like walk over to them and be like, "Hey, can I work into this?"
No, because I am a very
You don't want talking, right?
non-confrontational people pleaser, so I really like to avoid conflict at all costs, which I know is interesting, but yeah, I don't like conflict.
There is a guy at my gym that he'll have his magazine. He runs the indoor track. Reading.
See, that would make me sick.
I don't know how he does
How's
it.
he not running anybody?
One time, yeah, I saw him making notes, and he's running like he never stops, and he's and everything, and there he goes. And there, yeah, I love it personally because it provides me the much needed entertainment that I need.
Even on like an elliptical, I've tried bringing like a book or my iPad or a Kindle to me, and I can't even do it like on the elliptical or treadmill. Like I have to do an audio book or like watch a show or something. I can't read. I don't know how he does that.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to even watch a show. Like I used to like turning the Housewives on, if I was on the treadmill.
Yeah.
But like it was more just about listening, and then if there was like a good fight, I'd look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there was also one time at the gym. Well, it wasn't just one time, but it was consistent. And this is years ago.
Oh boy.
On the indoor track that goes around.
Yep.
This guy, he was always very fit, muscular,
Yeah.
No body fat and everything. Well, he would be running around, and then when he would get to a certain part of the track, he would dive on the ground, kind of like how like a seal comes across the stage at SeaWorld.
On the track.
On the track with his head, his arms back like this,
Yeah.
and he would be like, "Ah."
That would be very entertaining.
I think he might have been a Cirque du Soleil performer, because then he would do these manipulations of his body, doing exercises, like standing on one hand, with your feet out there and everything. But yeah, I mean, I would be like, oh, I hope he does a dive today. And
That is interesting.
Those people at the gym, I tend to like, because then it gives me something to do.
That's true. It's very entertaining.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I try to bite my tongue at the gym a lot if I see people doing things that I think are either inappropriate for their age, like, young people lifting too much, or slinging weights around, or not doing good form. It's actually really hard for me to bite my tongue to not be like, excuse me, if you just lifted a little lighter, you wouldn't have to drop it all the time. But I just go about my business, and even if my headphones have died, I still wear them just so people think I'm listening to music, so they don't talk to me.
So antisocial.
I am. At the gym, I am there to get it done and get out. I really don't want to talk to anybody.
Do you want me to tell my funny gym story?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is like way back in the day. Like I was like in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I used to go to World Gym. Like that was like way back in the day.
Yeah.
And so I used to go at night pretty late because I had like my little part-time job. And so I was on the treadmill, and I was training actually for my very first marathon. I walked it, but I had it cranked up where it was, like that. So I'm, you know, on my treadmill, I'm walking, there's like nobody in the
You
gym.
weren't holding on to it, right?
I was not holding
Okay,
on
that's
to
another
it.
one of my pet peeves at the gym. If you're walking on an incline on the treadmill and you hold on, you are defeating the
You're
purpose of the
negating it.
incline. So like,
Yeah.
just put it back down to 0. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just happy as
Sorry.
can be. Well, 2 meatheads, you know, the big muscle guys,
Uh-huh.
they got into it. So they're across the gym and they like start yelling at each other and they're gonna like have a fight.
Yeah.
So I'm at the first treadmill,
Uh-huh.
then here's the front door, and then there's the little desk. And the desk, this, you know, World Gym employee is like maybe 5'2", and she's like, and she walks over there, and you know, like I'm, you know, watching across the gym, and she's like, you know, you guys need to stop it, you know, no fighting and everything. And they're like, oh, okay, lady.
Okay.
So she walks back in a big huff over to the desk. She's like, I'm calling the police. And I'm like, oh man, this is getting good.
It's getting real, yeah.
So she's on the phone with the police and everything, and they're like still yelling at each other. And then the door opens up, and so in Vero Beach, the Los Angeles Dodgers used to spring train in Vero every year. So like the front door opens up and everything, and I'm like, is it the police? And I look over, and it's Mike Piazza, who was the catcher at the time for the Los Angeles
Thank you for
Dodgers.
explaining that to me.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so I see him like, and I stepped right over the front of the treadmill, and I went poof, down, and like off, spit out the back. And I'm like trying so hard to hold on to the sides because you know this it's spinning and everything. And I'm like, oh no, like oh, no.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So I like look over and I like look up at Mike Piazza, and he's like looking down. He's like, you all right? I'm like, mm-hmm. Yeah, so he goes by, then the police are there. This guy that is lifting in front of me, he was like holding his side laughing so hard, and he's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, there's too much going on right now for me to be able to do this effectively.
Yes.
Yeah, so that.
Did you get a picture with him?
No.
Oh, you should have.
No, I was not like that. It was so embarrassing.
That's awesome.
So embarrassing. So yeah.
That's awesome. This reminded me as you explained this that on Monday I had my whatever week OB appointment, 16 week, I don't know. And I go there, you know, of course they tell me I'm advanced maternal age again.
Mm-hmm.
Which side note, when I have told people about this and put on like my Instagram story, this is why you don't complain about your situation because it can always be worse. It used to be called geriatric pregnancy.
True.
So I don't know, advanced maternal age does sound better than geriatric pregnancy.
Yes.
I'm still not thrilled they tell me about 10 times when I go. But I had to get more blood work because of my age.
Yes.
But this time they were testing for spina bifida, which you have to do between 16 and 20 weeks.
Okay.
Side note, got the results back. There's no spina bifida. But I go and I'm standing in the walk-in line for the lab because it's all there in the Gateway Plaza. Like, I'll just knock it out now instead of having to drive back here. And there was a lady that walked up in the appointment line. She almost started a fight, senior citizen, with the gentleman that was standing in front of me, who I think he was just lonely, talkative guy. He was talking to everybody that came by.
Okay.
She started to be mad that the line was too long, and she made an appointment, and every window should be servicing her. And he was like, well, excuse me, like, look how long your line is. It's not very long. Ours is really long. We have one window, you have two. Oh, she went off on him, and then he tried to calm her down and was like, I am so sorry.
He touched her?
Oh, she
no.
was, don't touch me. Are you threatening me? And I was like, we are going to have a fight between the 80-year-old and Health First. He handled it beautifully, though. He calmed down. He said, I am so sorry. I didn't mean anything by it.
He was just trying to be the nice, happy-go-lucky guy.
He was so nice. The best part was, she goes up to the window to check in. He turns around to me and he goes, oh my God. And I was like, he handled it beautifully. So, like, his reaction, he was just a very funny guy, but I thought there was going to be a fight.
Unnecessary.
Which was going to be entertaining.
Yes.
I did not want to
had
stay
to wait
there.
in the line.
Yes. And it really wasn't that long. It was fine, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good.
Not good.
These things happen.
Not good.
Be on your best behavior, people.
Yes. Yes. Okay, we have a round of buzzer questions.
All right.
Do you have any? I do. I'm so excited.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Yes.
Mine were very nice. Okay.
Well, the first one I have, I kind of gave you a preview for last week. Well, it was after we got done. What is one current fashion trend you don't understand?
Well, there's two. Oh, darn it! For those of you who are like,
you
what
say
was
an
that?
answer and then you hit it.
Answer and then ring the bell.
For no reason.
Right. So, okay. So the high-waisted barrel leg jeans and stuff that are back.
Ooh, that's, yeah.
And
okay.
then now the 90s oversized blazers.
Yes.
Like, who just came out in that? And I was like, oh, Kaitlin Clark. I was watching that episode of My Next Guest with David Letterman.
Yep.
She had on, I said, she's totally uncomfortable in it right now.
Yeah.
And Shane's like, why is she doing that? I said, because that was from the 90s, and that's when Brenda and Kelly on 90210 would wear those big ones, and I don't understand it.
Okay, that was very good.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Thank you.
Okay, do you have one? You want me to keep going? I got 3.
You can keep going.
Okay, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? After!
Oh!
Cannot follow directions.
And then I wanted to change my answer.
Well, good, you have the opportunity.
Okay, good. I was going to say mind reading, and I don't want to know. I just want to like,
You don't want to be in my mind.
no, I want to fly.
I don't want to be in my mind. You want to fly?
I want to fly.
That's a pretty good one.
Mhm.
Okay, I just
Yeah.
want to ring the bell. Okay, it's your turn, because I only have one more.
Okay,
That's a good one.
what is your favorite animal to see at the Brevard Zoo?
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, I
Let's
was about to
see.
do it!
See.
I like the giant otters.
They're from California.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah, we don't have a cheetah anymore. Yeah, there's 2 otters.
I
We don't
know.
have a cheetah anymore. The boys like the giraffes. They like feeding the giraffes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like the otters.
The otters are great.
I didn't know they actually had okapis until we had the running zone race, and now Chris
Mhm.
points them out to me every time too.
He was cute. I saw him, and I like to, even though I get in trouble, when I see the rhinos and I'm there with like my nephew, I like to sing, I like big butts in a candle. And they all, like
I was
the
like,
other
yeah.
adults, like give me like, they throw me like, you know, some shade.
Yes.
So I sing, but it's like the perfect song when you see a rhino.
Yes, this reminds me that the boys got haircuts,
Mhm.
and Ed has been styling their hair
Yes.
to give them more flavor.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
and
it.
every morning he goes, I gotta give more flavor today.
Look at the little
Okay,
spikies.
whatever you want to do.
They'll be so happy.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I have one more.
Well, I have another one. I'm doing another one.
Oh, go ahead.
What is your favorite beach in Brevard County to go to?
Pelican.
All right.
Just because it's convenient since I like beach, I always go there. I used to
Okay.
live right next to it.
Do you have to pay? To
Now you
park?
have to pay to park. But I would say like the Cocoa Beach or South Melbourne Beach, they're more sandy beaches, so it is
Mhm.
like a nicer beach. But with the kids, we just go a mile away.
Okay. Well, I went to, is it called Nance Park Beach? Is that
Yeah,
beach
yeah,
there?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we had friends down from South Dakota, and that's where I took them.
And it was good.
But they also wanted to go to the brand new Surf and Style that's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more there. Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay.
Those are my 2.
Okay, here's my last one.
Mm-hmm.
What are you kind of snobby about?
Where should we start? Okay.
Don't hit it.
Completely like stupid, but well, it's more of a pet peeve, but I'm always like, oh.
Yeah.
If you give a gift in a gift bag, you should cut off the plastic hanger on that gift bag.
I hope I never give you a gift bag.
Oh,
plastic
nobody
hanger now.
cuts them off. I think I'm the only one that does cut them off. Yeah. Like, and so I'm like,
Were you the one at camp that gave Chris a gift in Christmas paper?
yes,
Was it for his birthday?
no.
Okay. He told me, I think it's for my birthday, I can't open it. And I said,
Is
I
that
don't
why
think
I
it's
told
for
him to
I
open
don't
it?
think it's for your birthday.
No, I
You
said,
can open it.
I told him, I said, you're doing very well in school and I've had these for you. So yeah, and then I'm in a phase right now where I'm trying to use up all of my gifting supplies.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter like what the occasion is.
Yeah, it was cute. It was like a Disney Mickey.
It was Christmas wrapping paper.
Yeah, and I said, I don't think that's from Aunt B for your birthday.
No, he said,
So I
I
let
said,
him open
open it up. He goes, I'm going to take it home. I go, you want to take it home? He goes, I'm going to open it there.
Yeah, I had to convince him it was not for his
Yeah,
birthday.
no, he's got his good test scores. He's doing well on
Yeah.
It was just a little,
Well,
yeah,
thank
okay,
you. Yes,
You're welcome.
yes.
Has he opened it yet?
Yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
he shared it with Mikey, so that was good.
Okay, I told him, I said, you might want to share.
Yeah, they shared. Okay,
All right. So yeah, that's
Okay.
one of my little snobby things.
I'll take it.
Yep. So all you gift givers out there,
Now you know there's a plastic hanger piece.
yes, and nobody sees them except for me.
I have never done that, so I will have to make sure for you that I cut it off if I ever use it, or I just won't use a gift bag.
Helpful tint.
Helpful tint.
Yes, we're now tinting things. If you are on your way to the place where you will be giving the gift and you see that little plastic hanger and you go, darn it, I didn't cut it off at home, don't rip it off the back because you will rip the bag and it will look even worse than had you left the plastic hanger on.
It's big between the two evils.
Yeah, so there you have it, everyone.
Okay, well that was fun. I can't wait till next time. Well,
we're gearing up for that.
we're gearing up. We need some caffeine. We need to really psych up for it. But
so Kaitlin will now tell us how she wants to see everybody on Sunday.
Oh, that's an easy one. Yes, come out to Space Coast Classic this weekend. Start time is 6:30 a.m. from the Cocoa Library.